Hello guys, so today I'm going to make another video on rerouting, and the focus of today is configuring passive interfaces on reroute, how they are configured. So it's going to be on router 5. Okay, why we choose router 5 is because beyond router 5 we don't see any other routers. Okay, and same thing with router 6, but so for now we have router 5. We don't have any other routers beyond router 5, and so there's absolutely no reason why we should be having multicast RIP multicast broadcasts on these loopback interfaces. If you go into router 5, and we'll debug IP RIP, we're going to see that rebroadcasts are being, okay, let's stop right here. Debug all. So what I was saying is you see that you have RIP multicast. Okay, this is the multicast address for RIP. So it's broadcast on its loopback interfaces, which is not necessary. Why? Because what those broadcasts does is that they basically going to they're going to query those loopback interfaces and ask them if there are updates on the routes. And so for a router 5 doesn't make sense because we don't have any other devices routers that are beyond it. So we're going to remove we're going to convert all interfaces on router 5 as passive interface except gig 00. Okay, so let's go into it and then let's configure it. We're going to see it's going to be changed here. We're not going to see this broadcast on the loopback interface after that. So first it's on debug. So I'm going to go into the configuration mode, terminal, and let's say router RIP. Router RIP. And we say passive interface default. Okay, which means all the interfaces on router 5 will now have passive interfaces. Now I'm going to do an exception. No passive interface gig 00. Okay, if I come here and save, now I do debug IP RIP. Now let's see how those okay. We can already see that the multicasts are received only on the gig 00. Okay, so we should not see multicasts received on loopback interfaces anymore or any other interface on router 5 except gig 00. Okay, you see? Only on gig 00. Before we are having these same updates coming from loopback interfaces, but now it's only we can only see that from so our passive interface configuration is working. Another thing we could do is because right now what we said is on this router we don't want RIP multicast sent to all interfaces of router 5 because we don't have any other routers beyond this router 5. So multicasts are coming only through gig 00. Another thing we could do is to say we want this router to only broadcast its routes only to R1. Okay, so in that way we're going to enable unicast routing between these two routers. Okay, so we're going to stop multicast because what multicast does is that it's asking this router is going to ask through multicast that if you know about any routes, okay, share with me. So So R5 as R1. If you know about any other route beyond R1, which is means route from here, from here, from here, from here, from here, please share with me. But with unicast, it's going to say, I don't want to know about any other routes. I just want to have share route information between you. So which means the route of R5 that we previously received on R2 will no longer be visible when unicast routing is enabled between R5 and R1. So to prove that, let's go into R2, and we're going to see that on R2 we see this loopback interface routes coming from R5. Okay, let's go into R2. You see them. So this R2, if we do show IP routes, including 205.55. Okay, we see these routes. Okay, we do clear IP route. Let's be sure that they're not routes that are okay. Okay, those routes should be there. Let me just check why they are not there. Just give me a second. All right, so yeah, after waiting, the routes appear. So what happened is I have done a lot of manipulation. Sometimes the route disappear because so anyways, so what I did is right now we can see on R2, we can see the loopback interface routes coming from R5, which is okay. So, all right, because we said this router R5 can still receive multicast routes from coming from R5, okay, shared from other routers beyond R1, okay. So now we receive those routes, but we want to impose another security measure where we say R5 can only share unicast routes with R1, which means those routes that were previously received on R2 will disappear, right? Those routes that were previously received on R2 coming from R1, R5 would going to disappear. So how do we do that? We're going to R5. We're going to R5 and going to R5. So this is R2, okay? These are the routes that we currently receive from R5. So those routes are going to disappear. Okay, I'm going to keep this window open. I'm going to undebug all. And debug is a very, very important feature in routing, in Cisco routers. It permits you to see exactly what's going on in real time. So you can find it actually very useful if you're good at it. So anyways, so right now I'm going to enable unicast routing between R5 and R1. So for that to happen, we'll show run session router. Okay, so this is what we currently have. So we enabled, we set all interfaces on R5 are passive interfaces except gig 00. But now we're going to say, we're going to remove all of that. I'm going to say configure terminal router read, and I'm going to define a neighbor. My neighbor is going to be R1, which is 192.168.15.1. Okay, I'm going to say to that neighbor, say passive interface default. Okay, what are the options? Let me see what are the options here. Okay, anyways, we're going to choose passive interface default. Okay, and with that in mind, let's check again to run. Okay, so this is the configuration we have right now on R5. Okay, we just said we define a neighbor. Okay, we say passive interface default. What that means is now we're not going to have if I do debug on R5, we're not going to see those multicast packets. Okay, we're not going to see those multicast packets because the multicast packets they serve to they're basically querying R1 to provide routes, updates on routes, trip routes, to R5. Okay, so those multicast packets going to disappear if I do the debug. Before I do debug, let me do clear IP route. Okay, now I say debug IP read. You're going to see a difference. Now we're not going to see multicast addresses. Okay, if you look very well, there's no multicast. There's no 209.20. What's that multicast? 20. Yeah, 224.0.0.9. We're not going to see that multicast address anymore here. Okay, we're not going to see that here because it's a unicast routing happening between R5 and R1. Okay, between R5 and R1, this unicast routing. And to prove that, we're not going to be able to see these routes coming from R1, R5 on R2. So on R2, we're not going to see this route anymore. But for that, I'm going to clear IP route. See, those routes disappear. Okay. Let's see. They should disappear. They should actually disappear. I think I just need to clear my routing table. I'm seeing them, but they should actually disappear. Let me undebug all here. Let's be sure. Okay. All right. Let me clear IP route. Okay. Let me clear IP route again. Okay. So you see, those route disappeared. With just as for caution, if you're troubleshooting RIP routes or routing in general, you have to be a little bit more patient. You have to know how to clear when and exactly when to clear those routes, because not in a production environment, of course. Production environment, you need to be more careful. Okay. So in any case, we don't see any routes. We should not see any routes coming from R1. They disappear and come back again, but we should not be seeing those routes. Okay. Coming from R5. Okay, so I do clear IP route. Okay, we should not be seeing those routes. Anyways, we should not be seeing those routes coming from, and the reason we should not see them, is because we're just saying we're going to be able to, we're not doing multicast routing. Okay, on this interface, there's no multicast packet sent out, okay, or received. So there's no way this router should have information about this route, except the routes that were originally present on this one that came from here. That's why we do clear IP route, okay, so that those routes get flushed. So in any case, that's how you do unicast routing. Okay, that's how you do unicast routing. I haven't prepared yet for the next video, but next video is still going to be RIP routing. But if I'm not mistaken, it should be on I think it should be on route filtering. Okay, it should be on route filtering, but I have not, in my mind, I have not actually prepared that one yet. So this is it for this video, and I will talk to you in the next time.